r/ask Reddit. What do people learn too late? Learning when to say no, learning how to apologize when it's your fault, and how to not apologize when it's not your fault. I am absolutely guilty of the latter. Me. Standing in line the grocery store. Guy walks up, shoves me aside and grabs some gum. Me. Oh, sorry, my mom. Why are you apologizing? This guy just walked up, shoved you out of the way and grabbed something he didn't need when he could have just asked nicely. Me. A. Reflex. I don't really care either way. I should probably stop doing that. How to manage their finances. Lesson number 1. $1,000 is not a lot to have, but it's a lot to owe. Lesson number 2. It's much easier to blow $100 than it is to make $100. What not to share on the internet. I am so grateful that my party years of 1323 occurred in a pre-camera phone era. Amen to that. My MySpace pics are embarrassing enough. I'm glad I don't come across cringe-worthy pics of myself in skinny scarves and leg warmers. LOL. I lived in AZ. Why on earth did I wear those things in 120-degree heat? Not to mention my emo phase shudder. Those can stay in the family photo albums. The value of a good unconditional friend. Had the same best friend since I was 2. Don't know where I'd be without her. Me too. We're nearly 30. She's more like a sister at this point. We're really close and speak most days. Our kids are the same age as well. She's always got my back. She's kind, honest and loyal and not afraid to tell me when I'm ducking up. I couldn't be without her. How dangerous driving a car can be. Interest rates, credit cards, credit score, money saving techniques. 401k. In other words, anything that keeps you from being trapped by poor money management. I straight up had to go out of my way to take a personal finance class to learn half of this shit, and that was like 2 months ago and I already forgot most of it. How to communicate. Not communicating with my wife almost destroyed my marriage. I'm finally learning to tell my wife how I feel. Took me years to learn to suck it up, admit I was wrong, and apologize. Feels so natural to me now to apologize to my husband when I'm being an a-hole. I don't know what the appeal was to just dig my heels in and escalate, but it's really nice now. Fights last all of 5 minutes if we even bother getting to that point. I apologized to my sister once and she got all weirded out. Guess I know where it came from, LOL. Still don't do it on the internet. Baby steps. Don't worry if you aren't living an exciting or extravagant life. It's okay to live simply and quietly. It doesn't mean that you're wasting your life. My name is Yoshikage Kira. I'm 33 years old. My house is in the northeast section of Moria, where all the villas are, and I am not married. I work as an employee for the KMYU department stores, and I get home every day by 8 PM at the latest. I don't smoke, but I occasionally drink. I'm in bed by 11 PM and make sure I get 8 hours of sleep, no matter what. After having a glass of warm milk and doing about 20 minutes of stretches before going to bed, I usually have no problem sleeping until morning. Just like a baby, I wake up without any fatigue or stress in the morning. I was told there were no issues at my last checkup. I'm trying to explain that I'm a person who wishes to live a very quiet life. I take care not to trouble myself with any enemies, like winning and losing. That would cause me to lose sleep at night. That is how I deal with society, and I know that is what brings me happiness. Although, if I were to fight I wouldn't lose to anyone. That they are terrible at parenting. Too late and won't admit it. The value of walking away from someone toxic in your life. Even if it is your parents and family, if you are thinking of it and are scared and have somewhere where you can land in a safe place, then do it. It hurts like hell for a long while, but it gets better, and one day you realize how peaceful your life is and you find you only miss the family you wish you had had. Yes, also, find a support net, but for your own sanity. Just avoid the topic with people who are curious. Not many people understand and will try to talk you into making up with your family. It's so hard in the beginning, but it gets much easier. You find your own people, create your own families, and your own peace. Don't ever think it's okay to talk to yourself in a manner you wouldn't let another human being talk to you. The biggest abuser I ever had in my life was my constant companion. The thoughts in my head. We often take care to choose our words when correcting a child or friend. But if anyone had talked to me the way I talked to me for 30 straight ducking years, I would have murdered them. And probably got away with it too. Be nice to yourself. You're the only you have. My brain after reading that, yeah, be nicer to yourself, you stupid duck. That some things can never be undone. The actions you take and the words you speak will come back around sooner or later. Not everyone is going to like you, no matter how hard you try. You could be the juiciest peach in existence, full of flavor, yet there will still be those who don't like peaches. That most people will just help you, how and if they can. If you are honest with them. It seems like so many people feel the need to conceal what they actually want from you, and try to get it by presenting a half-truth or what they think you want to hear instead of just being straightforward. I can vouch for this. I know my parents love me, but they sort of messed up bad with this one by making me feel like I could never directly approach them about anything I needed help on without also being vulnerable to them possibly being upset with me just for asking. I'd have to figure out a way to ask without asking or making up close to truth lies. Never felt good about those. This eventually led to me never reaching out when I needed help, and it took me years after moving out to be able to confront this problem just on an emotional level. If it hadn't been for some really incredible friends, I'd probably still be struggling with this. Sitting on your ass all day is not good for your health at all. Rolls over onto stomach instead. Sitting is the new smoking. It's silly, but seeing as how my heavy smoking mother passed away and I sit a lot during the day, work, commute, hobby, that sentence motivated me to become more active, go for walks, runs, and to the gym. That it's never too late to learn. You really whipped out the reverse there. Saying I love you or wanting to reach out to your family, friends, and loved ones, but crippling anxiety stops you. You never know when it may be too late to say these things. So be in the moment, and live love in the present authentically. Also, to learn the difference between saying I love you as a statement, and saying I love you but really meaning do you love me? It's fine to switch the real meaning from time to time. Everyone needs a little occasional reassurance. But if all my I love you utterances come from the latter, and especially the first one in a romantic relationship, I need to do some work of myself if I hope to have any quality relationships in my life. That salary amount is not the entirety of an equation when deciding where to work. You have to take into account the cost of living, commute times, the safety of the nearby area, and the convenience of living in the area. Studies have shown that taking a 20-minute longer commute is as bad for your job satisfaction as a 19% pay cut. On top of that, wealth equals money in, money out. If a new job pays 20k more, but if rent property prices are 30k more per year, you are taking a pay cut. On top of that, you have to consider your future. Do you have to move to an undesirable location to work there? Crammed in a little apartment where the nearest services are an hour away? What about air quality? What about noise levels? Is this a place where you want to start a family and raise kids? All of those play a factor in determining the desirability of a job. I am a firm believer that my job doesn't exist outside this city is a bullshit myth. Even if you're a super specialized rocket scientist with a PhD in orbital dynamics, NASA is not the only organization with a job opening for you. There are many more factors to that. Is this a job you really like? If you are making more money, but hate the job, is it really worth it? You are spending most of your day and your life at that place. If that part of your life sucks, it will affect your mood and happiness a lot. And close to that, the work atmosphere. Are you getting along with your colleagues? Is your boss a decent person? The social part plays a big role and is often ignored. That hating people who are different makes you nothing but unhappy. Wow, isn't that the truth? That no is a complete sentence. Don't get in the habit of auto-launching explanations and defenses. Oftentimes, the people listening will ignore all that anyway and just hear, but here's an opportunity to dissuade me. Look how hard I'm working to get your approval to say no to you. What do I do when every time I say no I'm being told I have to reply with more words? To protect their ears, you don't want to live with tinnitus for the rest of your life because you were exposed to a loud noise once. Learned this one too late. I can ignore it most of the time. but some nights. How slippery a slope addiction is. How quickly trying something at a party turns into being hooked. Nicotine is a beach. I know it's awful for me and my lungs, but I just keep on going back. I'm 3 days clean right now, Mayo. It's a start. I quit 14 years ago. You are already doing fantastically. The most important thing is to not put the mountain in front of you. That is, the thought of never having one again. One day at a time. If you relapse, don't give up on yourself. It will likely happen and is not a big deal. It doesn't mean you have to go back or that you have failed. Once you have broken the mental identity of being a smoker, then you're most of the way there. The importance of writing skills for formal contexts. Writing is an important skill in nearly any field, and the more a career advances, the more important it becomes. The lack of adequate writing skill often holds back a career, yet many people squander their opportunities to learn writing because they think their class assignments are empty busy work, and they figure their skills in spoken English and informal text messages will carry over when they need to write for work. How short life is. To be fair, this quote generally has the tendency to encourage behaviors that make life even shorter. The importance of education. As a kid, you're always hear generic statements like, "This will help your career," but nothing specific enough to be useful. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.